Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Whether it's males or females, fools go to hell. And everyone outside the divine order, everyone who doesn't obey God through me, except for my parents, they're going to hell. Let's look at, say 5 or 6 scriptures here that make it clear that I'm right. And then we'll look at the options I had, home versus billboard and home versus hotels, driving around trying to reason with people. Because the internet is certainly not doing it, and it hasn't been doing it. I noticed that right away, back in 2009. Okay. So Proverbs 26:28. A lying tongue hates those it hurts, and a flattering mouth works ruin. So if you lie to people, you're not helping them. It's part of why the world is ruined. You all keep flattering each other with your white culture, token minority culture, thugs with no higher cause, every other culture, okay? Because my culture is universal, pinpointed moral precision, not a worldly culture, race-based culture, right? So it's every culture besides that. And that's why the world is ruined. Proverbs 27:5. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. It is better to chastise people after you remove the log or the speck or the rainforest from your own eye than it is to just be quiet and say that you're loving them. Because one who's slack in his work is brother to one who destroys. Destroying someone is not loving them. Proverbs 28, I believe it's verse 23. Whoever rebukes a person will in the end gain favor rather than the one who has a flattering tongue. Should go without saying. In the end, just like with my videos, people respect me and they don't respect anyone else. Unless they're crazy as hell or something. Because I told people the whole time exactly what they should be doing. Now that the end is really, really close, the end of all possible moral paths, as I've been poisoned and fumed for years. I'm the one that people know has shown good judgment. Good judgment wins favor, and the way of the unfaithful leads to destruction. And whoever rebukes a person will in the end gain favor, because that's good judgment, than the one who has a flattering tongue. You people keep kissing each other's you-know-whats while you're all going to hell. Proverbs 26:3, in case you're still not convinced. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the back of fools. Proverbs 26:1. Like snow in summer or rain in harvest, honor is not fitting for a fool. You people keep going through the motions of showing respect to people who are fools. People who are complicit with people who are fuming and poisoning me, and that's everyone outside the divine order. Everyone who isn't obeying God through me. Of course, again, my parents are blameless, but you should be following me and not them. Proverbs 26:6. Sending a message by the hands of a fool is like cutting off one's feet or drinking poison. They're talking about the people who poison the righteous, not the righteous who are poisoned. To be poisoned because you're doing the right thing is called being wise. To poison those who are doing the right thing and then turn around and say, hey, we're magically better than they are. There's some racial supremacists or something. Okay, is stupid. That's what it means to be a fool, kind of thing. Sending a message by the hands of a fool, the hands, as opposed to the martial art hand of the top martial arts, which is the hand of God, God through me, the Father through the Son. Sending a message by the hands of a fool is like cutting off one's feet or drinking poison. Is he walking with God? No. Is he sane and logical? No. The fool is not to be honored. He's not to be followed. He's not to be someone who represents God. And you all should know that very well. So in a nutshell, why did I choose to stay home instead of stay home and try to reason with people and rent a car once in a while and drive to San Jose a lot? Well, San Jose is the most populated city in Northern California. And it gets people from other cities going through there. Santa Cruz probably, quite often at least, has a higher flow of human traffic. So I spent a lot of time trying to go there, especially back in 2016, 17, what have you. But first of all, people don't deserve for me to make a great effort to try to save them, but I tried anyway, right? And I'm still trying until my dying death. I'll never sell out. Assimilation is not an option. So it's going to cost me, about $4,000 a month, okay? And I paid the worker here about $11,000 over the course of a year and a half or so. Okay. And recently they let him go because I made that call that I said, hey, I can't do this anymore. I've been warning you people for many years that you can't trust the white man and his allies or so-called investors and so on and so forth, that it's time to wrap this thing up. But I made that call, and it bothered my parents a little bit, but they were frustrated and they knew that it was time and so on and so forth. Okay, so that cost me maybe $4,600 a month for the last year and a half. And my money really started dropping, right, with very little get back. My parents did things in a way that kept me from collecting unemployment, so I saw a steady decrease in funds. But my challenge still remains the same. $60,000 of not compensated, paid at a rate that I see fit. If one can magically do the impossible, which is, win in regards to my challenge. Okay. I think we're at $10 million or $100 million. I forgot which, if I am compensated. And $50 just to show, pay nothing if you lose. Okay, so the other option was to have a billboard out there, and I've looked into it a little bit. I mean, back, a group of people who claimed to be targeted by the government came up with the idea of everyone pitching in for some kind of billboard. They kind of went through with it. It didn't really yield results, but their message is different from mine. My message has to do with me being Christ and people rallying to me. Their message has to do with the government targeting people, with technology and what have you. It didn't help them do very much at all. They just, the society played stupid. But that's not why or how I knew that it wasn't a good idea. Okay. So I have different estimates, right? There's different deals that are offered at times. There's different companies, different size billboards, what have you. But let's just go with the number 5,000. So $5,000 for the billboard would have added another $5,000 to my expenses if I stayed home. So it'd be $9,600 a month. Okay. If I had taken that route, then I would have drained my money over twice as quickly. Okay. The last option was hotels and renting cars because they're sabotaging my car. Okay. Or I could just try to drive my car. But if I did it with renting cars, we're looking at probably about $9,000 plus a month, depending on how much the rental cars cost. Anywhere from $9,000 to say, $11,000. And in many ways, the billboard and staying home is a better idea because I've tried to reach out to people. I've tried to make videos in public. I've tried to get their attention, no matter where it is. Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Cruz, there's organized harassers there. And these people, even if they have trouble anticipating my movements because I stay in hotels instead of my house where I'm filmed a lot. I've been filmed in every hotel I've been in, mind you. It's not very hard for them to kind of have teams go there and make it harder for me to reach out to people in public. So as we compare the three, it's because society wanted to trample on the souls of their offspring for very selfish and petty reasons that things played out the way they did. And I decided to stay home for the most part. Now, I might very well go with the billboard option for the last couple months that I foresee before the poisons and the fumes overtake me and I die because people didn't rally and secure me justice. And I assure you that it will kill me on this trajectory if people don't rally to me and tell the truth about gang stalking and secure justice for me to try to prolong my life. And so that's a form of society's collective guilt. Them being slack in the work, the spirit of them being slack in the work, the American spirit, the Jewish, the European spirit, killing the Son of God yet again. With the LGBT community, of course, that's the type of people in Rome, token minorities, what have you. Mostly white, Jew, and LGBT people doing it. And so when the story ends that way this time, you can imagine how blame will be assigned. I've gone over it many times. And so we'll leave this video here.